video. Today I'm going to give you an apartment tour. It's my apartment in Dublin. I'm doing this on my selfie stick, so if it's a bit shaky or I'm looking like here and there everywhere with the camera, please bear with me. I hope you enjoyed and I hope it will give you a heads up on the life in Dublin and what you can expect when you come here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So let's get started. This is the apartment entrance, and first kind of room that comes is the kitchen over here, and then we have a room here and a shared bathroom over here. And then as we go forward, we have the living room and some more rooms. It is actually a 4-bedroom apartment in city center, and everyone has like their individual rooms, and we have 2 shared bathrooms that we use among the 4 of us. And yeah, the kitchen is also common. The kitchen and the living room, they're all common. And so right now I'm in the kitchen. In like most apartments in Dublin, you get a set of things which come with the apartment, and that is usually you get like a water boiler, a toaster, a microwave, and a refrigerator. So that's like something that usually comes with most of the apartments, and you might not need to buy it. And then there's like apartments with a oven and a washing machine as well, but it's not always there. And to be honest, I think you should get an apartment, or you should rent an apartment which has a washing machine, because otherwise you might end up like spending a lot of money on the laundry, and laundry here can be a bit expensive. So make sure to rent an apartment that already has like a washing machine in it. So yeah, and then we have like the stove and everything. These are mostly like, I think gas stoves are very rare in Ireland. Most of them are like induction cookers, like induction tops or hob tops. Hob tops can be really slow and annoying, but induction, like it's okay. I mean, it's not so slow, but I always prefer a gas stove. And then you get to keep your stuff in maybe the cupboards. We kind of share it between the 4 of us, so some of them belong to me, some belong to my roommates and stuff like that, so we have everything shared. Now about the utensils, like for all the apartments, I'm sorry, it's a bit noisy here. I'll probably go somewhere else to talk. Like I was saying, like in most of the apartments you get these utensils. Like for all the apartments that I rented, and I've rented like around 4 different places in Dublin itself, and I think that most of them, they come with like utensils, because people have been living there and they have huge sets of utensils. It's been the case, and I've never bought utensils here. Like there are always so many plates and cutleries and everything, and pans and everything. But of course, like if you're a vegetarian or if you avoid meat, then of course you would want to buy an individual pan, because people here of course are from different nationalities and they cook like all kinds of meat and everything. And if you don't want to share it, of course you can buy it, but I don't think that's a major problem. You can just share it accordingly. So that's the kitchen, and then we have actually the living room. I'm gonna show you the living room now. The living room is a bit of a mess, to be honest, because this apartment is actually going for renovation, so everybody has got their stuff in boxes. If you can see, yeah, it's a total mess. But yeah, the point is that most of the apartments, they have these living rooms where a shared living room that you can share among everyone. And I think that most of the time it's also like an extension of the kitchen, so the kitchen and the living room, they're kind of connected. So this is where you bring a guest or your friends over and you can have dinner and everything. This is actually a very decent place, except that it's super cluttered. You have like a kind of fireplace kind of a thing going on here, like a couch and stuff, but right now it's like super messy, so you won't be able to figure out anything even if I told you. And now we have two toilets in this apartment. One of them is used by boys and one is entirely used by girls. So one of the bathroom it has like power shower. Power shower is like, you know, you get in hot water instantly, but it's not so hot. Okay, so I kind of do not prefer power shower. And then the other bathroom, it's like connected to the boiler, so it gets water from there. So it takes a little bit of time, but it gets you like a good amount of really good hot water, so you won't get cold when you're taking a shower. I will show you my room. Like I said, it is a single room. And I have like one single bed, I have like a side table thingy, and then I have a mirror and a dressing table kind of set up, and then a laundry bag, and of course one wardrobe, and a very small window that gives me a bit of a view. Most of the apartments, they give you the duvet, which is like, you know, the blanket kind of stuff. It's a blanket that you would need for the cold weather. So I get, you know, like if you don't want to buy it, if you're coming in for a short duration and you don't really feel like buying, you could just take that and just buy a fresh cover for it. But otherwise, I would personally suggest you to buy a new one. You can easily get from like different stores like Dunn's, Pennies, and Guineys. These are some of the stores that actually sell duvets. You can actually also buy like secondhand duvets on one of the Facebook groups, but that's entirely your choice. If you're buying, you can actually buy from Pennies for like around 30 or 14 euro, I guess, and I bought from Pennies and it was like 13 tong. So tong is basically, you know, to tell you the thickness, how thick it is, and I think 13 tong is pretty good, a pretty good thickness that you should have if you're in Dublin. And then we have the throw. Now this is something like a very kind of soft kind of blanket. It's more like a blankie. Now I feel that you kind of need both of them, but like Irish weather is very unpredictable, and sometimes it's just hot and you don't need much, so you just use the duvet. Sorry, you just use the throw, while, you know, sometimes it's a bit cold, so you use the duvet, or sometimes like super cold, you use the throw, duvet, as well as electric blanket. Yes, sometimes you might need the electric blanket because what happens is like the heating in most of the apartments is centralized, and to save electricity bills and heating bills, what is generally done is that heating is done intermittently, like in some hours of the day, just to make sure that the house is not too cold, but otherwise it's not, you know, turned on all the time, because the heating bills can actually shoot up really high. So what you would definitely want to do is get an electric blanket, especially for the winter season, because otherwise it can actually get super cold. The wardrobe, like right now I have like the whole wardrobe to myself. It's unusual for you to get like a huge wardrobe like that for yourself, especially if you're living in city center. You usually would have to share your wardrobe with your roommate or whoever is living with you. So in the first apartment that I used to live in, I actually didn't get a wardrobe, and I literally lived out of my suitcase. Yeah, it's not uncommon. Like I can say like around 80%, you know, 70%, I think, okay, it's just my assumption, but I think 70% of the students in Dublin actually live out of their suitcase. Like all of the stuff is in the suitcase, and you just take out whatever you need and put everything and leave everything inside the suitcase. Because most of the time, like, you know, wardrobes are not present, or you just have like a hanging rack, or, you know, you just have half the wardrobe. So of course it's not possible to fit in all of your stuff, especially if you're a girl. You know what I mean? The second apartment, I shared like a similar wardrobe, like a similar wardrobe like this, like half of it with my roommate. The third apartment that I got was I had a single wardrobe, but it was not so big. It was I think a tad smaller than this one. And then the fourth apartment that I got, it had another wardrobe. Like it had a single wardrobe, but again it was not so big. It was really small, like maybe half the size in both length and width. And then this is my fifth apartment, so I have like the whole wardrobe to myself. What else can I tell you about Dublin apartments? Now yeah, about the bathrooms, like I'm gonna give you just a sneak peek. So like I told you, the hot water system is I think the first and foremost thing that you need to know about Dublin apartments, because that's the most important thing. Living in a cold country like Ireland, hot water is like necessity. The most funniest thing is of course the wash basins. Like you have like a hot water tap and a cold water tap, and to be honest, every morning is like, you know, you're just a scientist trying to get the right temperature just to like, you know, wash your face. It's super funny every morning. Right, so it's time for the sneak peek to the bathroom. Why am I so scared to do this? So this is the bathroom, guys, and you know, so we have like a commode, a wash basin, and this is the one with the shower that is connected to boiler. Alright guys, so I'm gonna tell you something. Dublin is super expensive, okay? Always make sure like the apartments that you rent, their rent includes the bills, cause oh my god, it is such a mess to share bills. Best thing about Dublin apartments is that you actually get to live with the people of different nationalities and you get to make a lot of friends. Now another thing that I wanted to tell you about the rent is like, I know 500 is pretty expensive, but to be honest it's not expensive at all for an apartment like this. Like I'm getting a single room, bills included, in the heart of the city. It's like literally next to impossible to get an apartment like this, which is decent, habitable, and also in the city center. Most of the apartments in city center are like so messed up. I mean, you go into their bathrooms, the sink is not working, the taps are like, you know, coming out of place. I've been to so many apartment viewings, seen the best to the worst. I know what it's like to live in Dublin. I really feel that, you know, if you take an apartment in the suburbs, like maybe Blanchardstown, like Tala, and all those places, I think you can get like a super awesome place. Like this is awesome. I mean, my room, I love this room, but you can get an even amazing room for cheaper actually. Like the location really matters. Like, you know, if you're trying for something in the city center, you might have to adjust with cramped apartments and you know, not so comfortable places, or maybe very expensive places. But if you're okay to travel a little bit, then the suburbs are the best options. So I don't think I have anything more to tell you about Dublin apartments. So that's pretty much it for the apartment talk and the apartment tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment below to let me know, you know, your thoughts, what do you think about it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Loads of love. See you later, alligator.